The Banshees of Inisherin was directed by Martin McDonagh and stars Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, and I'm very excited to give you guys my review for this movie. If you've seen it, be sure to let me know what you thought about it. As well, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Now let's get into this review. In this movie, two lifelong friends find themselves at an impasse when one of them abruptly ends their relationship with alarming consequences for both of them. So this was a really interesting movie to me because I knew of it, but I didn't know much what it was actually about. So I saw it was on Disney Plus and wanted to check it out, and it was interesting. It's a simple plot overall, but has a lot of depth to its characters, which I really liked, and it was probably a really good thing that it did, because the initial conflict of what was going on, of the one friend ending their friendship, at first it was kind of odd to me because they kept the reasoning at a surface level, and that reasoning at first sort of felt kind of weak, like something you expect from more like a 12-year-old, and they do kind of acknowledge that when they talk about it at first. But as this movie progresses, you understand a bit more why that one friend has sort of cut off from the other friend for what he wants to do, and sort of how he views that previous friend. You can understand it, and even though I don't necessarily think he needed to go as far as he did for cutting that person out of his life, I can still understand why that person might feel like he needed to do that when he gives his reasonings for where he is in his life and what he wants to do. It makes sense, and that's really good because it is a kind of a simple idea, but I think it adds layers when you have a character like that you can really understand why he may be doing what he's doing. And then the other friend, the one who's sort of been cut off, you can really feel for him once you sort of understand sort of what this character's like, maybe some sort of how other people in their village view him. And yeah, I do feel for that character, and I feel bad given his situation, what kind of person he's like, and he seems like a perfectly nice guy, but you feel bad for him. And this movie just really progresses and shows these two characters going to extreme lengths for either keeping the one character out of his life, or trying to be friends with the other guy, or just showing that he's really upset about it. They go to extreme lengths. I was really surprised with where they went with this movie. There were moments where I was like, oh, they went this far with that. It got surprising at times. But this movie's also balanced with some good humor as well. It's kind of mixtures things. There's some really funny moments, but there's some moments where it's like, whoa, they went far with some of that stuff. So it has a lot there to it. And this movie has some good heart too. The one character played by Colin Farrell, he has a sister played by Carrie Condon, and she was very good in this movie. I think she was a more level-headed character between some of the main characters, and she had a lot of heart with with Colin Farrell's character as well, which I really liked. And she has some nice moments too with Brendan Gleeson, who plays the character who's cutting the one friend out of his life, or trying to as much as he can anyway. They have some really good dynamics and some really good scenes, and all three of those actors give excellent performances as well, and the supporting cast as well all give really good performances as well. There's not a bad performance. This movie looks really good as well. I enjoy the setting, and yeah, this movie just has quite a bit of heart. It has some surprises for sure, and yeah, it's surprising to me just how much this movie sort of works, because there's a lot of movies that I think are great that have very simple plots, but some of those movies are more fun, maybe not fun, but shove popcorn in your face movies. Like one movie for me like that is Jaws. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's definitely a blockbuster, and I think it's great, and it's got a simple plot. This movie's not a blockbuster at all, but it's got a simple plot, but it works because the characters are deep. You understand them. You understand why one feels that he needs the other friend to not be his friend anymore, and you understand why the other friend, why he's reacting the way he is. And they just go to extreme lengths. Like I said, there's some surprising moments for sure, and I thought it was really good. The performances were great. There's a lot of heart to this movie. I really enjoyed it. For me, I think the one issue, and it's not a huge issue I have with this movie, maybe besides some moments getting a little slow, was the actual conclusion. I didn't find there was a whole lot of closure. It was left open a little bit of where these characters might go, which could be fine for some people who can maybe sort of think in your head where they're gonna go. For me, it's sort of like, okay, it's a little maybe more open-ended than I would have liked. It was a bit too open-ended to get enough closure for me, but it wasn't a huge issue for me. The rest of the movie was great. That I think this is one of the best movies of 2022, at least for what I've seen. It was great, honestly. The directing was great. The acting, like I said already, was great, especially by sort of the three leads. Thought it was excellent, and for a story that's kind of simple, it works very well, and it has layers to it, which is really good. So for me, I'm going to give the Banshees of Inisherin a 90%. Definitely a great movie. Definitely want to recommend people check out. One of my favorite movies of this year. So guys, let me know your thoughts if you have seen this movie. As well, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and be sure to stay tuned for some more reviews coming soon. And until my next video, take care everybody.